Hello everyone, and welcome to the Mindfulness shared meditation. We're here to support each other in our formal practice. So thank you for being here. I'm a little bit late because I'm up in the mountains and it was a bit tricky getting online. I'm just going to show you where we are. There with the sound of the river and everything. So let's meditate together, and then I'm going to share a few words on responding rather than reacting. Mindfulness is about being in the moment, being here with kindness, and setting aside judgment when we can, or at least noticing when we are judging. So it's with this kindly attitude towards ourselves that we pay attention to the present moment and bring our mind back as many times as we need to. Sitting in a dignified posture helps us to stay alert. So when we're ready, closing our eyes. For 10 minutes, mindfulness of the breath. Coming into the moment through the physical sensations of sitting. Feeling our contact with the chair, with the cushion. Coming home to the body. Coming home to the now. Feeling the places of warmth, of touch. Where is there more sensation? Where is there less? Paying attention to the body, experiencing the sitting rather than thinking about it. Entering the world of the senses. And then inviting our attention to the breath. Being with the experience of breathing. And being with the breath rather than doing the breath. Observing how the body breathes by itself. Can we stay with the rise and fall? The expanding, the letting go. Can we have the patience to come back each time the mind wanders off? Following the inhalation all the way in, aware of the pause, and following the exhalation all the way out. Experiencing the breath as if for the first time, noticing with interest. And once we approach with interest, whatever we are attending to becomes interesting. The detail of the air moving, where it can be felt, is there a symmetrical flow in the nostrils or not? Can we feel the ribs in the front, the sides, as well as the back? Where do we feel the breath most vividly? Kindly bringing the mind back when it wanders. We might like to acknowledge where it has gone. Maybe off planning or worrying or reminiscing. As soon as we notice, we come back to the breath, back to the moment. Present as each moment unfolds. Letting go of too much effort, applying ourselves with a soft touch. And knowing that just to sit and do this exercise is an act of self-care. Building our attention, being with ourselves in a kindly way, and often generating a calmer state. Not that we aim at that. Our intention is to notice and accept, and let what unfolds unfold. Just a few more moments in mindful awareness. Present and interested. And when we're ready, opening our eyes and feeling that transition to maybe setting the intention to keep some of that mindful awareness in our ongoing day-to-day activities. And today I would like to talk about responding versus reacting. When we're meditating regularly and we're paying attention to the breath, when we come towards the physical sensations, when we approach, we are generating a calmer state of mind. It's through this paying attention that we move away from the effects of fight and flight and into a state of mindfulness and coping. So when we're overstimulated or we're anxious, then the part of the brain called the amygdala gets a bit excited and it sends out adrenaline and cortisol, which is all very useful if we're dealing with an emergency. But most of the time we're not. And we're generating these stress hormones just by thinking. And when this goes on for long periods of time, we're in a chronic state of arousal. And the body is flooded with these stress hormones, and it actually limits the way we think. So by approaching the moment, we learn how to be with, and when we are in a state of arousal, we can also be with that in a mindful way. And this actually changes the activity in the brain so that we're coming from the left prefrontal cortex, it's called, a place where we can see opportunities, where we feel that we can cope, and then different hormones circulate in the body and lead to a calmer state, a more expansive frame of mind, and improved health. So you might notice that when you've been practicing regularly and you're moving towards your physical sensations, maybe walking meditation, you're moving towards the feelings in your feet, breathing, we're moving towards the sensations of breathing, moving, we might be moving our hands, moving in Tai Chi style movement, paying attention to the hands. We're all the time approaching. And as soon as we move towards an experience, then we are master of it rather than being sort of slave to it. So this moving towards has a very positive effect on the brain, and then subsequently on the body. And so you might find that when you've been practicing for a while, your general state of agitation is reduced. And people have said that normally they would react automatically to, say, an injustice in the office, and they'd be in there shouting at others. Whereas after a certain amount of mindfulness practice, they find that there may be an injustice going on, but they don't react immediately. They have time to respond. They're not on a hair trigger, and they can choose a response which is more appropriate and well, better chosen. And there are other ways that we react. There are times that perhaps, I don't know, you're not invited to the party, and the knee-jerk reaction would be, oh, I'm a Billy No Mates, I have no friends, or I'm not popular. And that could set the tone for the whole day. Whereas when we're doing mindfulness practice, we might notice that that old pattern comes up of being left out, but we've got a view we can approach and notice that perhaps there's another explanation, and we can deal with it in a less self-destructive way. So there's all kinds of reactions that happen, whether it's being triggered into sadness or anger, the things that we've mentioned. Once we're paying attention regularly in formal practice, we're less reactive. And once we have developed the capacity to pay attention, when these difficult states arise, we can notice we're paying attention. So we notice what's happening, and we have some distance, and we can choose whether we take that path of the old pattern, sometimes an old destructive path, or whether we choose a new way of responding. So it's all down to regular practice and building our baseline of awareness, of reducing our state of arousal such that we are able to respond to life rather than reacting in a knee-jerk fashion. So thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. And please feel free to watch any of the other meditations on the Google Hangouts, and keep the practice. Look forward to seeing you soon. Have a mindful week. Bye-bye for now.